This is Discover Crypto in the Blockchain Basement, where we focus on God, family, country, and crypto, folks. And boy, howdy, did we have a nasty fall in price. A snap crash happened over the night, liquidating a historic level of longs. Now we're looking for a price reset, maybe a bounce from this level. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin gaining some steam against Ethereum and other altcoins, maybe looking kind of dicey over the short term for altcoins. We're going to be taking a look at that and what I'm going to be trading for the remainder of the week. We have a very, very big announcements coming today, actually, from Robert F. Kennedy, Kennedy Jr., and things are looking like they haven't calmed down. The RFK potentially in danger. So we're going to be looking at that and looking at what RFK is going to be exposing today on the show. Welcome one, welcome all to the Blockchain Basement. Hello. Thumbnail looks like an old Pete Booty Juice. Morning. Morgan Powell. That guy, Shaka Wanda Bob. Angela Boomer, thanks for reposting the show on X. Your help is much appreciated. And a huge shout out to everyone watching out on the arena. I know I'm not directly posting there, but I think my man Matt Malik has us up on Drew and Malik live on the arena, which is actually gaining some really, really good steam. Huge shout out to you guys. We're over there experimenting with social fi on Avalanche, and it's actually quite fun. Believe it or not, a lot of people think that the only place you can find social interactions about crypto is X. False. You have a great outlet with the arena, and even we're on Pump Fun as well. Shout out to you. Friday was absolutely chaotic on Pump Fun as Alex Becker rated the show, bonded the token in the blink of an eye, and then rugged it all back down to 10K. But I didn't sell. I made some great creator fees, and huge shout out to him. Appreciate him helping me get that token bond. Now, if you're not already, follow me on Twitter at Druth Crypto here. I will never DM you about crypto. Opinions are my own. Get off my lawn. I've been kind of messing with my man Matt Malik. So here's the Ethereum holder haircut. Here's the Solana holder haircut, the SWI holder haircut, and the Bitcoin holder haircut. Here's the Pulse chain haircut as well included in that. You know what? Matt Malik, my man, he has definitely got the Avalanche haircut. I don't care what anyone says. He's got it locked up. Pulse chain people kind of in pain right now. So I'm trying to ease the pain. Maybe Richard Hart will come back and bull post it back to really good price action. Druth, is it possible to hodl and not need crypto IRA in 5 years? If you're holding the absolute specifically perfect project, Hermanov, maybe, you know. I mean, it's a hard yes if you pick the, you know, Solana of last cycle. If you pick that token, you know, in this current environment, yeah, but it's very difficult locating which one of them is going to be that absolute moonshot. So, you know, just be careful in that regard, kind of getting too concentrated on small market cap projects, because as you guys saw last night, there will be dips. There will be blood. The crypto purge happened. Crypto fatigue taking over the streets. Oy vey. Now, it was kind of weird. I had left this buy box on from last week, right? And it was just an expected support level / turbulent zone for Bitcoin to fall into and actually, you know, prove upward trajectory. I was looking a lot at this in the trading group this morning, and some pretty interesting things actually came about. And I guess let's dive into it here. Me and DZ were looking at this, and I'm using the market ciphers. Let's get so RSI is one thing. Here's the market cipher on the other side of the spectrum. Okay. Speaking of spectrum, we're going to be conversating about RFK, all of those things today. Absolutely. So the 4-hour momentum has not been this beat down since Bitcoin fell. And now let me know if you know how deep Bitcoin fell. On the last time the 4-hour momentum wave moved this deep into the negative and then printed a green, let me know in the chat if you know when that was, because this is kind of crazy. This was the crash down to $75,000, right? The last time the momentum on the 4-hour had moved this deep to the low, we had punched down to $75,000 on Bitcoin. This, just to show you here and prove it to you, this is at a 10% drop. Very, very big drop. Now, where it dropped down to was the previous intermediary high, right here at about $74,000. This is on March of 2024. All right, so we had a pump up 2 moment on March of 2024. That fake alt season came about. People were making it to the moon. And then, boom, we started working downhill and got that 4-hour momentum to go extreme lows. I mean, I'm talking like negative 98 right here. Well, actually, that's a Japanese yen carry trade situation, but these really do have the same structure. You pump up, you come back down, prove your support, and move on up. So this range, something very, very notable, the depth of the 4-hour momentum pullback / sell-off only produced a 4% pullback on Bitcoin price. Not even, like, 3% at best. This Bitcoin sell-off is very pathetic. It's weak. It's limp-wristed. I don't think that the bears have the juice to break us below the structure that we had created on Liberation Day. Now, we'd fallen down to right around, on Liberation Day was actually back here. It was the April 2nd moment down to 75K. And now a lot of people are looking to fill that $92,000 CME gap. So, like, in my opinion, this kind of pullback from how the general chart looks is asking a little bit much. If I see under $100,000 Bitcoin, that's where I start unwinding a lot of trading tether to just buy basic spot Bitcoin. But the fact that we fell right back into this buy / support box, I left it here. It ended up being the general high volume area of that last pullback we had made through. Yes, prices reset. Do I think this is a sharp V-shaped recovery? No, I don't. How the last one ended up happening like this. We dip down into it. We get a little bit above a deeper one, and then we're able to cook on up from there. So in essence, I don't think we're out of the woodwork on this, but from what I can tell, this level of pullback doesn't happen very often. The pullback on the 4-hour momentum wave, these are very, very bullish signals to be getting. Now I am indeed snooping around for that entry point on a long. I do see that we are pulling back down and nearly into the green zone again. But what I want is the momentum to get and breach below this 50% or this negative 50 spot and see the VWAP, this yellow internally to this metric. And this is the market cipher. I want to see this VWAP already recovering to the upside. This yellow triangle, I want to see it going up as we're having this go down. That's my signal that I have good confluence. This will round up and then give us at least a short-term dead cat bounce, thus giving me a nice scalp to get into. So indeed, I do think that we are on shaky ground, but that's generally what I'm looking at. Just in the general charts, 107K is probably a pretty reasonable spot if we breach below this buy box here. 107K does make structural sense right here at kind of the next stopping point to it. But I love covering crypto when we are crashing because it creates good buying opportunities. Unafraid of the crash, moisturized in my lane, and I ate brisket. If you're in pain, you're hurting inside, brisket helps. Okay, I will say that. Now let's check out the liquidation levels because boy howdy, we had a lot of wreckage this weekend. So there's your death candle right there, shotgun candle wiping out all the longs. And the longs came back. Longs came back, and now we have a good amount of liquidations right here at about $111,700. They can't keep their greasy fingers off the charts, and I can't blame them. I cannot blame them, And there are some things that are driving me to be more inclined to trade Bitcoin. I'm seeing that we left on Friday basically leaving it Bitcoin dominance wanted to go up. It does look like that happened to a degree, not massively, but Bitcoin dominance is fighting up into the right now. Yes, we're very early on in the week, but we're already getting a green dot print on Bitcoin dominance. So with that being said, probably going to chop around here. Probably just going to chop around here. What up, DeFi, crypto, and airdrops? Hell yeah, grunts helps better. What is grunts? What is grunts? Why buy crypto when gold is better? Gold is at extreme all-time highs, CK. If I go chasing all extreme all-time highs, I end up poor. Right? I think TLC said it best. Don't go chasing waterfalls. You know, gold, I'm a fan of gold. It's at a parabolic all-time high. I think gold is front running what's coming for Bitcoin. And I'm not that guy. I'm not your gold exit liquidity, right? I'm not your guy. So now let's look into where the fear and greed index is. Check it out on CoinMarketCap. So we got a 47 on fear and greed. More people are fearful than greedy right now, which is a great sign for a market resetting, especially in a generalized bull market. And the altcoin index coming back down to near equilibrium. Okay. Near equilibrium. Kitty bringing up silver. Yeah. And Tommy bringing up silver. Silver, I'd be more inclined to buy than gold. Absolutely. Silver, I think, has multi-decades of price suppression. So silver's probably got some room to grow. And this is, all the macroeconomic PhDs are all coming out talking about stagflation, giving their takes. What I also see coming to the market that's going to be a problem is insurance is going nuts. And with the insurance costs going nuts, you're having rents increase. There's a lot of pressure coming up on the traditional markets that I think will play in. I don't know if anyone has one of the Hondas, but my hands are just cut up to all hell. My wife had to get new, what do you call them, headlights, and I couldn't get my mitts in there. I had to pull the air filter off and windshield wiper fluid reservoir, all kinds of crap to get into it. My damn mitts, they got cut up like hell inside of there. So shout out to the hand mitts here. Let's go back to the general winners and losers. Something that needs to be noted here is Avalanche is still 11% up on the week. Avalanche over the last 7 days is still registering up by 12%, while vast majority of these other projects other than BNB are showing red. BNB and Avalanche seem to be leading us into alt season Valhalla, and I'm here for it, right? Even if there's speculation that CZ Wintermute might have had a hand, right? Might have had a hand. So let's go take a look at that. Every car is different. My Malibu, you need to basically remove the entire front end just to change a headlight bulb. That's insane. DCA, that's insane. What do you think about Sonic, man? It's interesting you should ask that question because I literally have the Sonic chart up in front of me and it looks very dead. I'm not going to lie. This is down 70% from the rebrand. No hype, no love. Volume is way up on the 24-hour, but it might be up on the 24-hour in regards to a dump, right? I don't know about this. The fast transactional throughput, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't really, I invest in things because I like to make moves to the upside, right? This is not giving moves to the upside. So Sonic, I don't know. I never bought it. Doesn't look too juicy, but you know what is juicy? Lamb T-bone style steaks. And these are what I'm making tonight. I'm not going to make them like this recipe, I don't think. But the key here is you grill them just like a thick ribeye, but you spend a little bit of extra time. You put it flat on this bone section here, and that allows the heat to travel through the bone and heat the inside of these things. If you haven't had lamb T-bones, I highly recommend it. Sweet, I'm still liking sweet, and we'll check out that chart here in a minute here. I just got back from barbecue. I'm feeling really good. Lamb is delicious. Absolutely, 100%. Lamb is absolutely delicious. Now we got to take a look at why dump. Why? Binance dumped ETH to liquidate longs. Classic exchange games. Here's all the run through on Arc of Intelligence. Binance hot wallet just jeeting. Jeet. All the jeeting here. Oh my God. Yes. Look at these guys. They're creeping around. You can't even see. Oh my God. It's Owen. Owen, hello. I just wanted everyone to see you because you guys are kind of trapped like building things. You know what I mean? This is Owen and there's Isaac there alive. Okay. This is proof of life, but I can't show you their faces because then you'll know too. You go build the Jesus God. I need an energy drink after that. Unbelievable. Owen is pretty excited to dump his Avalanche. The moment that Avalanche hits 60 cents, you can expect a jeet from Owen. Absolutely. I have been modded. Multi-sig dummy, you need to be modded if you want to be. I'd make you a mod here. Sonic is all that speed, but no one cares because Solana is already essentially instant. Yeah. It's like, and you here, Crypto Tony, here's a good comment. They are all slower and less secure and less decentralized than Caspa. All right. Caspa, I think, actually, because you don't have a ton of proof of work coins to pick from, I actually kind of feel like going and looking at the Caspa chart. I actually do kind of feel like looking at the Caspa. Let's go. Let's go, Crypto Tony. She's only down by 4% on the day. Way healthier chart. Way healthier chart. Absolutely. Now, all time, I mean, we're just sitting here writhing. I literally feel like buying some Caspa looking at this. Aster, I'm going to crash out. I hate crypto. I didn't buy it. I wanted to buy it at 50 cents. It's a good... CZ is going to pump Aster. CZ is going to pump Aster. He's not going to lose. He's at least going to grab a little bit of market share from Hyperliquid with Aster. Pengu flipped Caspa. That's crazy. It's the animal spirits are here, Steve-O. The animal spirits are here. Yeah, and I'm like not a Caspa maxi, but I do like proof of work systems. Something I'm kind of seeing here on Caspa, just in this interim level, is pretty good. Yeah. Okay. This is the overall structure, I feel. And we're at the bottom end of these higher lows. It's got higher lows. This is on the weekly. These are pretty large time frames. Consistently been building higher lows over the last few months here. I'd wager it's going to break out to the upside. I'd wager it's going to break out to the upside. Mr. Crypto Tony, I know you love your Caspa. We've been mining Caspa for a long, long time. So, you know, I like Caspa. I like proof of work coins. See, I got to be careful modding you guys in. I gotta be careful modding you guys in Discover. Multi-sig dummy. What is the top in? Let's put a poll, right? Is the top in? Let me know if you guys think the top is in. Top is in, yes or no? You know what I mean? This matters. What's the chat consensus? What's the chat consensus? Starting a poll. I noticed that CZ was catching a little bit of extra slack though. Or you know, the Arc of Intelligence, data coming out about hot wallet dumpings of at least Ethereum. Then you got this post, this MFer. Right before this happened, dips are important for establishing support levels, which are like foundations of a house. Says the guy who knows where he's just gonna dump and then buy back into the project. Oh look, that magic support level worked. Binance is massively done. Yeah, I mean it's just so crazy. It's so crazy. He says dips are good for buying. They establish that support. Man, all right. Do you guys think that it was that CZ's nefarious in this? You know, that's what I want to know. Are they just literally in full control of the market? They're just going to wash people off. And honestly, if they're found to be in full control, how long does it actually take to get a Bitcoin reserve? Right? If ever. If there's Chinese whales in the background just flipping the switches on and off on price action, and you got state reserves and treasuries holding on to that bag that they're manipulating, we might have to wait longer than we expect for the Bitcoin reserve. Why Bitcoin when you can buy gold and gold never dumps? Gold absolutely does dump, CK. Gold actually got blue-balled for decades. So slash dumped. So it's gone through some problems. I like gold still though. I do like gold still. One BTC, one Bitcoin. Now this washout, look at this. Liquidation cascade was the biggest since the December 9th washout of 2024. A massive amount $1.6 billion in liquidations. Absolutely savage. Now I'm kind of enticed after seeing this chart reset to look back at Bitcoin for those bull market longs that I jeet for 20 or 30% in the short term, day trade and stuff. But I'm really glad I didn't trade the weekends. I'm really glad that I didn't trade the weekends. They can be very, very volatile, very, very painful. Very painful. But regardless of all that, the entire market's going down. Meanwhile, IP is up 9% in the past 24 hours, trading at $13 billion, fully diluted value with $401 in total 24-hour blockchain fee. Let me say that again. It's trading at a $13 billion fully diluted valuation with $400 in blockchain fees produced over the last 24 hours. Prime cycle continues. Prime cycle continues. Jose Casillas. All right. And you can choose either chat. I think pound for pound, the blockchain basement has the best chat in crypto macroeconomics. We don't just cover crypto. I'm obviously very involved in macroeconomics, culture, things that affect us on a spiritual level. And boy, howdy, has it been difficult dealing with what's happened culturally over the last few weeks here. Appreciate having a crew like you guys to spend it with. Now, let's take a look at things this week. So Fed Chair Jerome Powell, he can't wait to get back on the podium and speak. He's going to be speaking on Tuesday. Prepare yourselves. August, new home sales data comes out. Oh, yay. I'm sure that's strong as all get out. August durable good orders data comes out on Thursday. The US Q2 2025 GDP data also hits Thursday. That's a lot of data coming out. August existing home sales data on Thursday as well. And then August producer cost PCE. It's like producer cost. And I thought it was expectations, I think. But it's basically just producer inflation data coming up on Friday. So it's going to be a little bit wishy-washy. Being careful. I am being careful in terms of trading, right? It's some of the spot positions are almost enticing me more right now as there's so much volatility, you know what I mean? And that's why I've been kind of snooping around at what are like the next hot new projects. The Dex plays, the Asters, the Aventis. I think even Orderly is another one that was kind of a similar vein as these. It's like a Dex battle going on right now. So let's actually pull up all of these. His Drift, I saw. Seeing Isaac, I wonder if he held on to his Drift or if he dumped it. I wonder if Isaac dumped his Drift. So here's Aster, $1.41. God. And it doesn't look that crazy, but it's been moving very viciously. It started out at 8 cents. It's at $1.60 right now in literally like a month, like a week's time frame. Absolutely crazy. Then you have Avantis, which is at $2 right now. Since release, it is up 370%. It released at 39 cents, is at $2. This is a base decentralized exchange with perpetuals set up, very similar. And then you have Drift, right? But Drift, a little bit older of a token, but one of the more bullish charts in altcoins out there. So, I'm seeing some bubbling, some interest in decentralized exchange and trading and native token exchanges, decentralized exchanges with native token involved with it seem to be doing pretty damn good. It seems that risk appetites are still out there. It seems that there are still insane millionaires out there trying to make even more. It's clear as day that there are. But we have to be patient. Right? We have to be patient. I don't want to buy a giant green candle and end up getting my feelings hurt. Now, Ethereum might have some extra problem. Like the general structure, I showed you the 4-hour general structure of Bitcoin first. Let's go to the 4-hour of Ethereum. It's not too bad because we didn't fall back down to these like previous range highs of around 3,900, but we got darn close. We fell to $4,000 essentially in the wee hours of last night. And a level that I'm keeping in mind on Ethereum is this downward trend line to come back down to improve a support, which would be unfun, which this The scenario I'm talking about is unfun for alts. It's waiting, but been a pretty old school trend line developed. And it makes a lot of sense when I see breakouts above trend lines like this to go up and get something like that. So, that being said, I don't think we're out of the woodwork. Bitcoin dominance not really showing that we're out of the woodwork either. Got a weekly green candle. The VWAP has had that trigger wave momentum, or that trigger wave go off. So it's dicey. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There is some consideration for risk mitigation. Bitcoin looks pretty strong in the short term. If you go your hand in the cookie jar and out, then you're likely to run into some problems. Running into some problems in this realm because Bitcoin dominance does look like it wants to come up a little bit. And with that, the crypto Twitter timeline is going to lose their mind. They can't stand it. That alt season mega rally isn't here yet. And people will sell, even at a loss. It is what it is. I'm going to be there buying up the blood. Let's see. I want to go over this too. RFK is coming out at 4 p.m. today. Today, RFK at 4 p.m. and the Trump administration are going to announce the cause of autism. 30 years ago, the rates were 1 in 10,000. Now they're 1 in 12. A reckoning coming for the pharma industry to run amok. Kids and their parents deserve justice. And with this announcement, RFK's house had a bomb threat called into it. And ABC Sacramento got attacked as well. So it doesn't look like there's much reasoning or conversation going on politically right now in the world. Probably going to have a area on the blockchain basement where I can openly discuss these things a little bit more broadly. A lot inside of me I'm not going to dive into, but Godspeed RFK. He's going up against a pretty large industrial control mechanism with the medical industry, and that is an uphill battle for sure. Now, this is just I can't even say it. People are attributing the dump to now understanding what has been causing this to happen to our children. I'm not even going to go there. Now, CZ also put this out. Dumb question about X. My followers grew quickly from 9 to 10 million in a bear market and then slowed to a halt after 10 million. Even in this bull market, followers grew fast in previous bull markets. He's asking if there's a loss correlation here. Is this normal or something wrong with X? Or am I being too KOL-ish? I actually am of the opinion that really people still don't care about crypto. I do want to go look at the Google trends, but the fever pitch, the excitement levels of it, they haven't been felt, or at least on my end. Let me know if your family or people around you that have been if people in your life have been calling you and asking you about crypto, that's a pretty good signal. It just doesn't feel like we're there yet. It really, really doesn't. So I want to see how Bitcoin is doing in terms of trends on just normie old Google here. Bam. Go to 5 years. Let's just do the whole time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is sad. This is very sad. No one is here yet. What's this peak? Is this like inauguration time frame? Yeah. Inauguration brought a little bit of juice. Here's the 2021 bull market and then the 2017 bull market. There could be the argument, though, that people generally get what Bitcoin is. Maybe they don't need to Google it, right? Now let's go look at altcoins. Let's see here. Bam. Poof. And then Ethereum, right? These metrics matter, right? I mean, Ethereum is still like way lower. There is no retail hyper FOMO, and it's really pretty clear the fear and greed index being at like a 46. This is stacking time. This is still stacking time. As crazy as it may sound, it feels like it's just stacking time for me. And I hope, my general idea of what Bitcoin's going to do lasts for a little bit of time. Like I expect it to fight and writhe at this level for a little bit of time. I'm fine with that. Oh my God, Alexander G's lurking. Let's see what the chat's saying. Crypto Tony saying you'll see it. Let's see here. Only Bitcoin and Caspa because they are the only two owned and ran entirely by the community. There's some argument there, right? Mining pools for Bitcoin, pretty concentrated. Hold top 50 coins. Those are also shit coins in Caspa. Man, Caspa makes people feel, doesn't it? Caspa makes people feel. They feel those emotions in them, right? Um, from a general price action level, I mean, Caspa at 7 cents doesn't hurt my feelings. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. If you could live in any of these singular colors, you have to choose a color to live in. Which color do you choose? Okay. Red is Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Orange is like the Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Georgia area. Obviously, I've been in the orange my whole life, Colorado and Georgia. Yellow is Washington, kind of the midsection, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, North and South Carolina. The green right here, kind of that strip from Virginia, Montana. And then this cold ass section, this blue, cold, hellish section of America near the Great Lakes. And then the purple being New York and all these people that eat way too many lobsters up here in the far right corner. Which level would you? I'm kind of curious. You know, it was mentioned that there's potentials like, God, I don't even want to go into it. Like thinking about having to live in Minnesota just terrified me. You know, I like Georgia. I like Colorado. I'm sticking with the orange. Maybe I'm silly, but you know, it's nice. I like the temperature down here. I like the temperature down here. I don't like the cold. I'm not an ice fisherman, and I'm a warm-blooded creature. So let's see here. I want to go through this. God, these poor pulse chain people. Can I just ask you guys a question? So I was on a show with a Pulse Maxi, and he said that Pulse X is the best chart that represents Pulse Chain's actual structural integrity. I have yet to really pin down how healthy or not healthy Pulse is. All I know is their people are insane, and I deport them every time I come across them. Maybe that's why I'm not in the know on how well their chart is doing. But if anyone does know how the Pulse people are actually doing, please let me know, because I just banned them and I don't have any of their actual input. I just, I immediately shut the door. I open the van to the deportation, people. I give them to ICE, and it is what it is. They're gone out of my face. Now, CryptoFace came out with some pretty crazy message. If we don't see at least some bullish action today, I'm deleting my socials, moving to China, and committing myself to a life of altcoin Chinese coin. Okay. He didn't delete. So he obviously doesn't feel like running away. But even the best trader on the planet that I know, CryptoFace, this has not been an easy to read market sell off. I went into the weekend pretty uneasy about it. But with that being said, we do got some pretty bullish movements going on for the alts. Like I said, AVAX is up 11% on the week, showing some extreme strength. And now we got the Moochie, Scaramucci, coming up and talking about potentially a digital asset treasury. Let's have a listen to this. Let's see. There we go. Is it not going to play? It doesn't want to play on this, and also some other. Is it muted? I want to listen. I got to reboot this. I got to reboot. Give me a moment here. I got too many tabs up. It lost its mind. And get the reboot. Okay, here we go. Other news. What is going on with the internet? You give me the spinning wheel of death? Anthony Scaramucci, founder and managing partner of Skybridge Capital. Bro, I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. I'm going to kill all these charts. You guys make me look at too many altcoins. That's the problem. I got too many charts. Also, the new lead advisor of AVAX One. That's a company aiming to maximize ownership of AVAX, which is. Bro, I can't even do this. Basically, what he's talking about is he's going to start up a digital asset treasury with Avalanche. This is very, very intriguing to me, and it's all connected like this AgriForce. launching as a publicly traded Avalanche focused company on NASDAQ with a $500 million capital raise strategy. So an Avalanche play coming to Wall Street on NASDAQ. This is actually pretty bullish. I was talking about it this weekend or on Friday. I was kind of fading how interested the Wall Street sector would actually be in layer ones. But, someone very, very high up, let me know, Drew, institutions, hedge funds, they are just as degenerate as you. They just have bigger bags that they're working with. They have more room for error and they act much more aggressively. So, thinking about it, we have like 100 ETFs coming. Probably a good amount of them are going to see some pretty decent inflows. Yeah, sound was low. Jeff, that thing didn't even work. For some reason, like the internet wasn't even working on that, but my stream's still going fine. So there is that. I'm feeling good. It's fine. Now we got to look at this. Hoskinson going to South Korea. Charles Hoskinson to take the stage at Korea Blockchain Week. Set to deliver a keynote speech tomorrow at Korean Blockchain Week, joining a lineup of seasoned blockchain leaders. So he's going to be talking with Bo Hines, who is listed. He's not an executive director. He's a former. This should definitely say former before it. Donald Trump Jr., obviously he's hooked into the politics here. And Arthur Hayes, he's under fire for selling a little bit of hyperliquid, warning of token unlocks coming up. We got that story we'll take a look at. Adeni Abiodun, probably just ruined that name. Miss Teen Labs, Charles Hoskinson, and then Caroline Pham. Right. So this cool. Is it going to move the bill? No, I don't think it's going to be some hyper bullish event. But, something that comes to my mind is Donald Trump Jr. is really, really leaning into crypto. The Trump Jr. boy is really hitching his bandwagon to crypto, particularly Ethereum and Bitcoin. I think actually this is quite a genius play. I'm interested to see if the legacy of Trump through Eric, maybe even Barron, can continue to make bids to be the president of the United States. It's not like Eric's going to come out right after Trump and become the president, but I could see Eric going after the presidency in 10 years, Barron 10 years after him, and trying to keep that involvement in the crypto ecosystem. They seem pretty lit up after being debanked, and they have been leaning very directly into cryptocurrency, which probably is going to play for some longer term outlooks. I don't think Bitcoin is reliant on the Trump saying it's going to be huge or anything like that, but they are turning into pretty good spokesmen for us, for the normies out there. Because there's a lot of Trump maxis, and when they hear something, they go find out what Trump's talking about. Now, Arthur Hayes, as I mentioned, he revealed why he dumped his entire hyper-liquid position, worth $5.1 million, citing heavy sell pressure over a token unlock, which he calls massive, starting on November 29th. Hyperliquid on an epic run, ecosystem booming, volume all-time highs, but they do have a token unlock coming now. Token unlocks into a bull market usually don't mess too much with charts and price action. And I will actually see if I'm logged into token unlocks on the fly here. See if I can get the hyperliquid data, because I do want to pull this up. Guys, the chat's still arguing about Caspa. Oh my god. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Hyperliquid. Give me the data. All right. Bam, bam, bam. Base. Chugging along. Ooh, boy. Okay. It does kind of look a little bit substantial. Go to CoinGecko. Maybe some of that capital is going to flow to those other DEX plays, because the overall decentralized exchange bull thesis makes a lot of sense. It's pretty clearly shown through the revenue that they make. Let's see your hype treasuries. Geez. Talking about hype treasuries now. So yeah, it looks like the data that we can get on token unlocks. That looks like a pretty substantial unlock beginning. Hyperliquid, I'm not going to go chasing it for what it is, but I think it would be worth looking at on the charts to actually see if there's any generalized spots that would make sense to get some exposure here. One of the faster moving projects in crypto. So let's see here. I mean, this range 32 is pretty important to hold, but around like 33 bucks. So I'm a greedy entry point person. I don't like being exposed to anything, but if I do see an option at around $35, come back down to the original intermediary high, I could feel good about that. I could feel good about that. Doesn't seem too out of pocket for me. This was kind of nuts to see, though, just in terms of American electricity. US electricity prices are going absolutely parabolic. Now, yeah, the average price to mine a Bitcoin plays into kind of the baseline cost of it. Let's see here. What is John saying? Out of the woods, not out of the woodwork. John?
You are banned!
I was looking for a reason. Hold on. I was looking for the reason. You know, everyone's being so reasonable. Well, they're arguing about like things that make sense to argue. How can I ban someone that's like arguing for a reason? But out of the woodwork, I mean, that's a pretty slight discrepancy there. We need to start building nuclear power plants. So electricity is going nuts. And also like what we do with our cash, it's kind of a bitch right now because insurance is going nuts, taxes are increasing, energy prices are increasing, and it's making me less and less enthused about building a massive, real estate portfolio if I'm actively taxed on the house that I buy, because I can't be actively taxed on just Bitcoin that I hold, so it's kind of like, it's in the back of my mind. It is in the back of my mind. Insurance agencies, like let's say 10, 20 years from now, if you're on a coastal region that's continuously getting hit by hurricanes, you're not going to be able to get insurance or a mortgage, right? You have to be able to buy cash and then they won't even insure it. This is insurance companies pandering to the climate alarmists, and they're actually moving to completely exit certain parts of the United States in their willingness to insure homes. This is going to cause some problem for the average person that's trying to punch up and get into a home. Insurance in Florida is terrible. It's insane. It's insane. So that, along with the energy price, the taxes going up, man, we have to stay so locked into the charts to make the upside. It is what it is. People are like, oh, the male astrologists are back. Well, you know what? There's a reason why. It's because inflation is basically making it impossible to leave cash in my hands without it losing, monetary value. I do want to go check in. Now that we've had a little bit of dust settle, let's go check the Fed CME tool. I saw his last posted on Friday. There's still like a 91% chance. Well, let's go look. Let's go look. Ooh, we got another argument. What's this? Oh, it's still Caspa. Once moon. Oh God, Crypto Steve. It's going after Crypto Tony. Fight. All right, let's check this out. Damn. All right, so we're at an 89% likelihood of a cut. Okay, 89% likelihood of a cut in October. Looking pretty strong. Another cut expected in December as well. Still, oh boy, now they're starting to do 2026. None of this is going to stick. None of these data points mean much to me. Right. The only ones that we can have like sort of a better bellwether on are October and December. They both look like rate cuts are incoming for both those months. But we'll stay tuned in case they decide to lie to us even more and create a reason to hold rates where they are, while the U.S. housing supply is set to get even worse, right? Sounds like a great combination of macroeconomic events here. Building permits fell by 3.7% month over month in August to an annualized pace of 1.3 million. The lowest since May of 2020. Building permits are approvals for new residential construction and serve as a leading indicator of future housing supply. This marks the fifth consecutive monthly decline, the largest streak since the 2008 financial crisis. Oh, great. Over the period, permits have dropped 11.4%, and the signals fewer new homes were being built, tightening supply further as demand is rebounding due to rate cuts. Housing is set to become even less affordable. God, it is brutal. It is so brutal. This is why crypto and housing our buying power in Bitcoin means so much. Not meant, it means so much. You know, absolutely does. What is it? I'm live as well, going over some killer TA. Nice, nice, nice. I got to get you on the show sometime, Crypto Crank. I got to get you on the show sometime. Send me a message on X, Crank. Send me a message on X. I am at Drew's Crypto. Yeah. All right. Drop me a message there. I'm gonna get some time to set up a Crypto Crank. Check out some of the charts he's looking at as well. Now something very odd is going on in Argentina. Something very odd is going on. This is what's going on. So in 24 hours, the Argentinian stock market collapsed by 10%, with the Argentina peso down 99% in 10 years. Today, the Trump administration offered a lifeline to Argentina, sending stocks surging by 8%. Can Argentina be saved? Let's look at this. So 2 hours ago, the U.S. Secretary of Defense made this post. He said all options for stabilization are on the table for Argentina. This includes swap lines, digital currency purchases, or direct currency purchases, purchases of U.S. dollar denominated government debt. But how did we end up here? Immediately after Javier Milei became Argentina's president, the inflation hit 300%. You can see very, very sharp collapse afterwards. In late 23, inflation in Argentina was above 25% per month. And at one point, a cup of coffee cost more by the time you finished drinking it, the coffee was more expensive. It's now down to 2% per month or 34% year over year. While this is an improvement, it's far from sustainable to have 30% annual inflation. By comparison, U.S. Fed targets that 3% mark for the long-term run rate. As a result, the peso has collapsed 99% in 10 years. And this is why so many people in Argentina love Bitcoin. As well put by Oz Flynn, this is the U.S. dollar to Argentinian peso chart. Not looking great, right? We talked about the dollar losing buying power. Compare it to the Argentinian peso, and it is completely laughable. This is why protecting buying power matters so much. 51st state, maybe we absorb Argentina and make it like South Mexico, maybe South Mexico. What would we name Argentina as the 51st state? I want to know. This is nuts too. TJ tagged me in this story. Apollo laser takes down 200 drones unplugged. They're using lasers to knock out drones, but as you can expect, they're building laser-resistant drones now. But in the meantime, kind of interesting. And, shout out. I know I got some UK viewers. I had to cover this. So the police are showing up to homes and asking some pretty weird questions. We do have to watch. This is absolutely
okay. What was it?
Sorry, I don't like the camera. You can have a body cam. I can exhibit that to you. I just don't like the camera really.
Okay, well, I'm doing this because this is my own house, and I am telling you why I'm doing. So I just need to know why would she's basically viewed a post which is not an arrestable offence.
Yeah. Okay. It happened in May, and
so she viewed a post in May, and the police are just showing up at the house. For what? I don't know. And in saying that these are police officers, they look like they're ready to get on TikTok and stop snapping at the camera there. Let's keep listening.
The only thing is, we need to seize the phone at this current moment. The phone needs to get seized from us, otherwise we will escalate this further.
But with a voluntary interview.
So have you seized anyone else? Is she the only child you're picking on?
Voluntary interview, you'd be able to come.
Have you spoken to anyone else? No, we'll come to the station now.
Do you mind letting her finish her sentence?
Yeah.
She does have to get further escalation, unfortunately.
That's fine. We'll come to the station now.
The phone is seized right now, and we're not able to basically get the phone.
This is absolutely nuts. So basically, the UK's lost. They have police officers that are like only officers, I guess is the term. Like, what is going on here? And the other one, like, isn't that Ilhan Omar? This is nuts. Okay. This is absolutely nuts. Minority Report much. You look at a post, then the government somehow knows that you looked at the post. Well, that must mean that they're auto aggregating the data from Facebook to the UK government, right? And then we fast forward to where we are right now with a government program with Palantir, right? Aggregating all of our data, knowing exactly what we're doing. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Who disrespected Charlie? Who disrespected Charlie? Let me know who. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You know, and I think the lack of ability to conversate about what happened is something that's kind of wearing on my mind. It is wearing on my mind. Just to be clear, okay, this is quarter-inch steel. This is the quarter-inch steel after a round of 3-6, 30-6, right? 30-6 is meant for the largest mammals on Earth. I mean, except for like, I mean, it's not going to take out an elephant, if enough of them. But a 30-6 it's a gigantic round. I'm not going to go down the conspiracy, whatever people want to call it. I know there's a lot of, and I'm still pretty worked up and sad about what happened to Charlie. I am. But I'm just going to stop there. I gave you the data. You take it as you will. Christ is king. I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to stay eloquent, keep conversation going. Right? Yeah, Huck, one shot. It's just a little different. So, now in terms of, I might be able to actually, so we kept falling on Bitcoin, but right at the top end, let's see what we got here. I like to see the 15-minute having been reset. Tap on the top end of this little green buy box here. Kind of exciting. I might be able to shoot off a long. Let's see. Obviously, I'm keeping stops on. Let's here. There's an esport for perp. Yeah, isn't the perp trading esport thing in like Korea? They have like leverage trading charts, and they're all in a room just smoking cigars, watching them. It's pretty bullet. All right, so the 15-minute. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like. Okay. I'm getting it. This is actually what I look for. VWAP clipped up, tried to went down 2 times. On its way back up, momentum down. I'm going in. Trade with us on LBank. If you're out there trading on LBank or Blowfin, you can get into the trading chat. And as I said, this has been a while since I've been trading Bitcoin, but I do feel like trading Bitcoin on a day like today. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. What should we do, Chad? I'm feeling a little frisky. All right, we're gonna send a little bit after it. Make sure it's market. Bam. Bam. Okay, we're getting it in. Boom. All right. We're in business. I'll update the Discord right after the show here today. Just got in along. And generally, I just showed you my process. I like to see a little bit of confluence, not try to catch exact falling knives, see the price bounce a few times, and then the VWAP reset. And I'll just go over it real quick again. So VWAP had pulled back twice. Now it's clipping back to the upside. The momentum was down. And, I'm of the opinion that this is actually going to end up printing a green dot on the 15-minute. This is a scalp trade. I'm going to keep my stop loss below this $112,000 spot, essentially at $111,900, right around that zone. Keeps it safe. Trade to another day. And you know what? Join me in the Discord for all those shows and on the Arena, guys. I go live right before this show on the Arena. And there's hundreds of people that are coming to that show every single day. They're tipping back and forth. I think someone sent me like $100 in Arena token. It's really, really cool to be able to send tokens to and from each other in a chat. Imagine if you guys in the YouTube chat were able to sit there and send tokens back and forth to each other. That's what's happening on the arena. And I do implore you to just go explore a little bit about it. You can find me at Druth Crypto on the arena. You can find Drew and Malik, our live show that happens there. It's worth it. We have a really good time. It's a great community. What is the arena? You know what? I am going to put a affiliate link in the description of this video so that you can find the arena and you can start getting involved with tokenized social media, because I think it's freaking cool. I'm a content creator with crypto, and it's a match made in heaven. I'm not sorry about doing it. You might go over there and have a really, really, really good time. So love and appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. You know, with everything going on, you know, I like this message. Eric Fitzpatrick, seriously, keep your composure. Thank you. I hope that I was able to keep my composure to a degree. Obviously, there's a lot of emotions going on. There's a lot of cultural shifts going on. And I do just want to stay focused on what's in front of me, what I can control within my own realm here. So love and appreciate you guys. And I will see you on the next episode. Stay frosty.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.